Hi, good day to everyone. So I'll be presenting my research, that is the impact of microeconomics variable on the price of property in Malaysia. My name is RickyKyle Mervin, and that is my ID number. Okay, introduction. At comparatively low rates, Malaysia provides a variety of housing. It is popular to have terrace housing, high-rise residence, detached and semi-detached homes, condominiums, and bungalows. Prices are high in towns, as can be predicted. The property market performance in the first half of 2020 dropped dramatically in comparison to the same period last year by the Department of Statistics Malaysia. It is reasonably clear that many people are likely to be wary about making the largest purchase of their life, buying a home with significant unemployment, pay cuts, and company failures and work insecurities by Bloom 2020. Problem statement. Nowadays, Malaysians do not purchase property because the units are priced beyond their pocket, and the banks refuse to give loans because they are worried that the loan will not be settled. After a goods and services tax began 2 years ago, rising home prices have added to the concerns of Malaysians struggling with the cost of living, and as the government cut subsidies on everyday products including petrol and sugar by Ibrahim 2019. Research objective: to investigate if the unemployment rate is affecting the price of property in Malaysia, to investigate the gross domestic product rate influences the price of property in Malaysia, to analyze the inflation rate influences the price of property in Malaysia, to analyze how the population influences the price of property in Malaysia. Research question: does the unemployment rate affect the price of property in Malaysia? How does GDP influence the price of property in Malaysia? How does the inflation rate influence the price of property in Malaysia? How does population influence the price of property in Malaysia? Literature review. Unemployment. Unemployment affects both of the supply and demand sides of the economy. Because unemployment precludes a household from entering the property market, the demand side acts as a financial constraint, reducing the number of purchasers. GDP, gross domestic product. According to the Malaysian Department of Statistics, the country's GDP increased by only 0.7% in the fourth quarter of 2019, down from 3.6% in the previous quarter. Inflation rate. The Malaysian house price index stood at 198.3 percentage points in quarter 2 2020, down from 199.7 percentage point in quarter 1 2020. According to NAPLIC statistics, the 0.7% fall is the first since 2010. Housing affordability is a major issue in Malaysia, particularly among metropolitan residents. Population. As the population grows, so will the need for housing, which will drive up housing prices by Gao 2014. A study done by Elot 2012, similarly, there is a strong correlation between population increase and the house prices. This could be attributed by the population structure, which is primarily made up of middle-aged and youthful generation. They either have sufficient purchasing power, are beginning to enter the labor market, or are about to marry. Research methodology. Sample will be Malaysia. Data collection. The data collection for this research will be from the secondary data. The secondary data will be obtained from the Department of Statistics of Malaysia, Bank Negara Malaysia, Ministry of Finance Malaysia, Valuation and Property Services Department. Data analysis. This study will run the data by using the statistic package of social sciences, SPSS. These are the findings that I have found. Number 1 is descriptive statistic. Number 2 is numerality analysis. Number 3 is correlation analysis. Number 4 is regression analysis. So the hypothesis. So I will read one and tell you about it. Hypothesis 1, there is and there is not a significant relationship between the unemployment rate to the price of property in Malaysia. Hypothesis 2, there is and there is not significant relationship between GDP to the price of property in Malaysia. Hypothesis 3, there is and there is not a significant relationship between inflation rate to the price of property in Malaysia. Hypothesis 4, there is and there is no relationship between population and the price of property in Malaysia. Conclusion, limitation, and recommendation. Negative correlation between macroeconomics and price of property. Can conclude that the microeconomics variables do not impact the price of property. One of the significant obstacles encountered during this research was the data availability, as it was difficult to gather all the house prices throughout a 15-year period. Recommendation. Governments can utilize this information to keep track of and maintain specific variables that influences changes in Malaysian house prices. Furthermore, the financial institute that monitors and invest heavily in Malaysian housing might gain from this research. Financial institutes can utilize this research to identify certain elements that have a large impact on housing prices in Malaysia, monitor those variables and use them as a method to invest in the housing in Malaysia while limiting the amount of risk they face. Finally, both consumers and corporations can benefit from this study. That is all from me. Thank you.